thriving, playing, living life to the fullest. Our mission for Kansans since 2003. We are Kansas Spine and Specialty Hospital, proudly supporting KPTS, Public Television for Kansas.
The following program is brought to you by TZ Productions, celebrating KPTS's nearly 50 years of community support in South Central Kansas. Great starts here on KPTS.
Ho, ho, ho! Cut the fruitcake and pour the eggnog. It is time for a Hatteberg's People Christmas special.
That's right, and coming up is a collection of holiday stories that will make you smile, make you think, might even make you cry, including this one.
I ain't never had anything like that happen to me in my life. This keeps me in suspense, and it makes me feel good.
Was it a secret Santa or a Christmas angel? Who was leaving the gifts on Albert Derbian's front porch? They were gifts that brought him joy at an otherwise dark time in his life. Larry investigates this Christmas mystery coming up. Plus,
we just wiggle.
It's just a way to bring joy.
Now here's something you don't see everywhere: dancing Christmas trees. You'll meet the couple inside these unusual costumes and discover how in the world they came up with this idea. Also,
look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
the movie is a holiday classic, and the little girl in it, she was living in Kansas when Larry stopped by to chat in 1991. You'll see why Christmas time has extra special meaning for Carolyn Grimes, aka Zuzu of It's a Wonderful Life. And you'll learn how she brings joy to others each holiday season. Plus, we'll have this story.
One thing I'd change is being home with my family and being a father to my kids.
Christmas through the eyes of Wichita's homeless. It can be dark. It can be a lonely time of the year for those with nowhere to be and no one to love. This is the candid, unfiltered truth from the streets that should make us all thankful for what we have, and maybe thinking about how we can help. Hi everybody, I'm Larry Hatteberg.
And I'm Susan Peters. We're gonna unwrap those stories and a lot more. A Hatteberg's People Christmas special starts right now.
These stories are like old friends. Their lives radiate from the screen like prophets of the past. They were teachers, but not in a classroom. Instead, they taught about life to those around them who cared to listen, and I was their student. Happy holidays, everyone. We are so glad you could join us.
It is a joy to share the season with all of you and serve up some Hatteberg holiday treats. Well, we're going to begin with a real gem.
Yeah, we've heard it all our whole lives. It's not the gift, but the thought that counts. Well, this first story about a man named Albert Derbian demonstrates just how true that saying actually is.
Cold fingers of ice play with nature's changing seasons.
Yeah.
Inside, the warmth of Christmas melts the winter away.
If nobody's ever believed in Christmas, this should happen to them, because you'll believe into it now.
It could have been a cold Christmas for Wichitan Albert Derbian. His wife died last March.
Well, when she first passed away and got buried, I had to leave here. I couldn't live here. I went crazy. I was about ready to go nuts.
Derbian and his wife raised 4 daughters. He drove a taxi, worked at some other jobs, but that was another life. Then, a few days ago, the phone rang.
Well, the first day I got a phone call saying there's a package on your porch. I went out and opened up the door, and there that was sitting with a partridge on a pear tree.
For the past 8 nights, someone has left Albert a symbol of one of the last lines from the 12 days of Christmas.
I didn't know what to think, because every time I go to the door, if somebody knocks on the door and I'm sitting over here or over there, by the time I get to the door, they're gone.
He gets the little gift with a note that simply says it's from Santa's elves.
Because I ain't never had anything like that happen to me in my life. And I'm 74 years old.
The gifts aren't expensive and they're homemade, but Albert knows someone is thinking of him this Christmas.
This keeps me in suspense, and it makes me feel good.
They may be coming from someone at his church, maybe his daughters, or perhaps a neighbor. The point is, it's a nice way to remember someone who's had a tough year.
Nothing special has ever happened to you in your whole life except this one thing.
So with his frisky dog who loves the snow and a mystery Santa, Albert Derbian is looking forward to Christmas with his children, but without his wife. Yet, he knows someone out there cares.
It makes me feel, I don't know, I feel 100% better with this going on.
Well, we tried to get some answers, but we just don't know if Albert ever found out who was leaving the gifts. He passed away 7 years later in 2002. It's so interesting when you do a story like that, and it really made this man's day that somebody was thinking about him, that somebody cared, and they would leave him these little gifts.
And look, they never wanted any recognition or anything.
No.
They just wanted to make him happy.
And they did.
Very nice Christmas story.
Thank you.
Christmas cheer comes in many forms, and the couple in this next story had a fun and novel idea.
They sure did. Rather than merely decorating a tree, they decided to each become a tree. Take a look at this.
We just wiggle.
It's just a way to bring joy.
It is one of the holiday's most enduring sights.
Aw, Lucky! You see him? Who's under those Christmas trees?
Son, it's a question everybody asks. Sue Shamp and Frank Heller are the creators and souls of the dancing Christmas trees.
You did a good job, sweetie.
Sue designed and built the trees. Frank urged her on.
I just kind of told Frank, I said, you know, some year I'm going to make Christmas tree costumes and we're going to dance in the street.
And together, just wanted to make people happy.
I didn't know what they were at first, but very unique. Haven't ever seen anything like that before.
Hi! We've been missing you. Good evening. Hello.
Hi.
People will come from out of town to see us.
Good girl. That was a great one.
But there is more to this couple. Sue is a former hospice nurse who now, as a certified avian specialist, uses her caring talents to rehabilitate birds.
I appreciate so much more now. I could say the little things.
That's a girl.
Good girl.
Watching people, watching animals, and just marveling at the different things they do and the way they relate.
It only has to last another week before we can reconstruct it again. So.
Yeah.
Frank is a retired chemist who met Sue on a flight to Hawaii over a decade ago. They fell in love and now share their joy of life with the rest of us.
Well, I think if you talk to my children, they would tell you that they don't believe what I've been doing.
On North Park Place, it is the Wade Mansion that first catches your attention. But then, as you drive south, there you see Frank and Sue. Their appearance is like a dessert at the end of a fine meal.
I think she's brought out the best of me, so.
Well, it's not that I get you to do it either. I can't hold you back now. I mean, you're out there.
Well,
all
we
the time.
enjoy it. We have a good time with it.
Well, you're supposed to bring joy.
We've been together for 12 years now, so we enjoy each other and have a great time.
Wow, that's incredible. I've seen singing Christmas trees, but never dancing Christmas trees.
Wichita had them, and Sue and Frank brought joy and laughter to a lot of people for several years with their tree dancing. Now, they were eventually asked to be part of Botanica's annual illuminations display.
But she says after a couple of years of that, people started punching and grabbing them, trying to knock them over. They ended up needing their own security guards. And that took a lot of fun out of it, so they quit Illuminations. But Sue and Frank then went back to performing in their own neighborhood.
Probably the best place.
Exactly.
But when the Way Mansion sold back in 2012 and the new owners quit decorating for the holidays, all the sightseeing along the street stopped. So Sue and Frank decided to hang up their tree costumes for good, and as she says, become normal people once again. They were normal people before that. They just liked to have a good time.
They were tree people before then.
They were tree people, exactly. It was fun.
Thanks for giving all those years. Okay, one holiday tradition that continues on is the movie, of course, It's a Wonderful Life. The beloved film airs several times on television each Christmas season.
And one of the actors in that movie was a Kansan. She had one of the most memorable lines.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
Now you remember her, the little golden-haired girl who watched her father, played by Jimmy Stewart, find out what life is all about.
I draw from that movie myself. I mean, I can see, and perhaps it even inspires me to touch other people's lives in good ways, if I can.
Working as a child star in Hollywood, her life was different than yours or mine. These were her friends: Cary Grant, Gabby Hayes.
I can tell you about Gabby Hayes.
He had the awfulest lunch, or at least I thought it was, every day. It gagged me as a kid. It was, he really didn't have any teeth. And he had buttermilk with cornbread in it every day of the world for lunch. And that, I never forgot that. Bing Crosby, he was another one of my favorites because he was a fun man.
Have you seen my wife?
But it was this movie, It's a Wonderful Life, that put her in movie history forever. And Jimmy Stewart is still one of her favorite people.
I think he walks around wondering, well, how am I so good? I mean, how has this all happened to me? I mean, I don't think he ever once, it occurred to him that he was a great actor.
There's a lot of trivia associated with the movie, and this old ginger snap tin may hold a clue to where the name Zuzu came from.
As he comes home from his escapade and he finds out that he really loves his family and he dashes up the stairs and I run out the stairs to greet him, he says,
Zuzu, Zuzu, my little ginger snap.
Carolyn left Hollywood in her early teens following her mother's death. Then her father was killed a year later, and she was sent to Missouri to live with an aunt. She now lives near Kansas City with her husband and some of the biggest dogs you've ever seen in your life.
Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go get a treat. Come on. Thank you.
They're called Akitas. They weigh 169 pounds apiece, and they are her constant companion.
And I live in a world of hair, and I enjoy every minute of it.
But does she miss Hollywood?
No, I do not miss it at all.
Surrounded by memorabilia of her Hollywood days, she still has friends there, and when she tells them she's from Kansas...
You mean the land of Oz? That's all I ever hear. And I say, that's the place.
While Hollywood is a memory and the little girl Zuzu has grown up, for the rest of us, she'll always be Jimmy Stewart's daughter with this memorable line.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
I was always fascinated by the angels in the churches. I always thought they were beautiful, but I had no idea they'd have this much meaning in my life. And believe me, they do.
Carolyn Grimes is a lovely woman and a real survivor. 2 years before that 1991 interview, her 18-year-old son committed suicide. 3 years after Larry's interview, her second husband died of cancer. That's after her first husband had been killed in a hunting accident.
Yeah, life was never easy for her, despite being in the movies. But despite the tragedies, Carolyn has found a way to remain joyful and celebrate each holiday season to the fullest. She is now 78 years old, and she travels the world, sharing her memories of the film with audiences and signing autographs. And believe me, that film, every year we watch that film.
Yes.
It's a Wonderful Life is a great movie.
And what a line she has. And I'm sure she still believes, or wants to believe, like we all do, that whenever a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
Yeah, inside her house, she had one room that was devoted to the movie. And
Really?
you go in and you see the scripts and the whole thing. Really an interesting woman.
And I guess this year she came back to Kansas. She doesn't live in Kansas, and was the official lighter of the Christmas tree in Leawood, Kansas.
That's what I understand, and congratulations to her.
The power of the holiday season manifests itself in different ways to different people. This next story is about a couple consumed by their faith and their tireless efforts to share it. Let's have the 1990 version of Larry Hatteberg tell us all about it.
In this Christmas season, when gifts, money, and the pursuit of material things take over our lives, think of this couple, Konstantin and Evdokia Georgiou. Arriving in this country in '79 to escape communism, they worked menial jobs and sent 3 kids to college. Now, they live here in Kansas. On Hatteberg's People, a Christmas story. They were married in Romania in '57, Konstantin and Evdokia Georgiou. Their wedding picture hangs proudly in their sparse home. They are here now, and this is their life. On the walls of their home, warmed by sincerity and grace, hundreds of icons proclaim their faith.
I'm not a specialist, but I do how I can.
They are members of the St. George Orthodox Christian Cathedral in Wichita. On a quiet day, the church sanctuary mirrors the lives of Konstantin and Evdokia. Icons in the church, icons in their home, icons in their heart.
Every day and morning and night I pray to God.
Konstantin makes hundreds of these icons proclaiming his faith and love of God. With few material things, but rich in spirit, he gives all that he makes away. You can't buy these. Your money is simply no good. He and his wife believe the physical body is nothing. It is the soul that must be fed.
If we do good, we have good. If we do bad, we have bad.
Read
Evdokia told me of the time she lost a child
Virgin Mary,
and how the Virgin Mary gave her strength.
It's true, that is true. And when I pray, I have a gift back from the God, from the Virgin Mary.
In his native Romanian language, Konstantin copies religious books so that others can study them. Most are sent to New York, where the Romanian population is significant. Again, he gives them all away.
God gave us many things, many gifts. Must be this gift we use.
Here I found my God. I feel peace. I feel very, very good.
A simple display in their yard with icons of their faith is all Konstantin needs this Christmas season. Material wealth, not important here. Both get their strength from their God, and their icons reflect their inner peace. A quiet faith among the noise of the season.
They did a great job for their church making those items. And 30 years later, Konstantin and Evdokia are still fondly remembered at St. George Church, but they have moved back to Romania. We got to have them for a while, but now they've gone home.
And before they left, they taught us what Christmas is all about.
They sure did.
One thing you can rely on year after year is the festive spirit on display in Lindsborg.
Yeah, and town folks there have long relied on Carmen Almquist to light up Lindsborg's historic bridge. Now that's Carmen's mission for the town each Christmas time. Meanwhile, he and his wife Mary have another mission right at home.
It's been called Little Sweden, Lindsborg, Kansas, nestled in the Smoky Hills and established in 1869. 30% of the residents here still have Swedish heritage. One of them is Carmen Almquist. His wife, however, is Norwegian, and yes, it is a mixed marriage.
But my mom and dad are really strong Norwegians, and when I brought Carmen home, he's Swedish. Yes, he's Swedish. Well, now my mom at age 90, she'll say he's Swedish, but we love him anyway.
They recently finished restoring this building from a business environment to a home. It is a special house.
This home was pre-built in Sweden. So it was made over there, shipped over by barge, and I think up the Mississippi River, I believe they said to St. Louis, and then trucked over here where it was assembled. In fact, they say some of these homes over in Sweden are 300 or 400 years old still, and they don't finish the wood or try to seal them at all.
and then transforming it into a cozy home has been really fun.
Throughout the house, the Almquists have added those special Scandinavian touches with the furniture.
People have been kind of interested that we live here because they knew it as businesses, and the idea that you live there and you've made a house, a home, they find that kind of fascinating, and so many people have said, "Can I come see your house now?"
We've had even some visitors say, you know, yeah, it's just like a little playhouse, that it's so sort of intimate and that it's not, you know, grandiose or anything like that, but it's just a very comfortable place to be.
Another place to be is in the basement. That's where you'll find Carmen assembling Christmas lights for his other project, Lindsborg's First Street Bridge.
Well, there are nearly 10,000, of which about 8,000 are of called the mini lights, and then there's a couple of thousand of the larger lamps. Then once they're all in place, sometimes even though I check them before we put them up, they may not all operate. So then it's a little bit of checking them out, finding a bad bulb or a loose connection, and eventually we get them all going.
For the past 9 years, this has been Carmen's project.
If it draws a little attention to our town, that's everyone likes to have their area noticed, and just shows what kind of a community we have, because we think it's a pretty special community.
Now that was back in 2012, and since then the old bridge has been closed to vehicle traffic. Now it's strictly a pedestrian bridge, but we're happy to report that Carmen is still lighting it up each Christmas, and he and Marianne are still enjoying life in their charming Swedish home. And there's always a touch of Norway in the house as well. It's a mixed marriage, as we pointed out in this story.
And what a great place to visit around Christmas, Lindsborg.
Lindsborg is a gift to Kansas.
It really is.
It's a wonderful place to be, and I hope everybody takes advantage of all the Swedish pastries.
Especially if you haven't been there around Christmas.
That's
it's
right.
Fun.
That's right.
This is such a fun and exciting time of year for many of us, gathering with family, enjoying gifts and music and great food.
Yeah, it becomes so easy to forget about all the people who don't have any of those things to enjoy. In 2009, I went searching to tell their side of the Christmas story.
Well, homeless is what you don't want to become. Just feel like you know, ain't nothing. It's just hard out here, you know, being homeless.
You know, I'm not looking for nobody else to be proud of me. I want to be happy and be able to wake up and be satisfied with who I am and what I am.
Oh, you know, Christmas is just another day to me. You know, when I had a family and stuff, it was. But you know, I'm lying to you, because Christmas is the birth of Jesus Christ.
Not everybody out here planned to be here, and instead of being treated badly like we do get sometimes, to really try to understand that this is not our choice.
I like to go buy things and everything else. And me, it's kind of hard to buy a Christmas present for yourself. Right?
Hold on, and once you got to, you know, one day it's there, the next day it's gone. Love somebody you want to be with. Let's hope they're there for you when you need them.
I've learned that homeless people are not like
all mean and rough exterior like I once thought. I mean, here in Wichita, they're all very friendly, very open. They're always willing to lend a hand.
One thing I'd change is being home with my family and being a father to my kids.
It's hard for us, but you know, don't shed a tear, because you know, just because we're in this position, it's not the end of the world. There's another day coming, and we'll be walking straight one day.
Larry, you showed the other side of Christmas, and it's very important to see that. And we so appreciate you going to show the other side of Christmas. It makes you realize that Christmas is all about giving, and it's all about, hopefully, redemption for all of us.
That's right, and I so wish we could find out what happened to all those people who, at that point in their life, were homeless. I'm hoping that in this Christmas season, that maybe they're back with family, maybe life has treated them better. We have to hope.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
There's no way to trace them back, unfortunately.
No, and the only thing we can do is hope and pray. And
that's right. They were all good people, they're all great people, just in a bad place in their life.
We need to pray and hope for all the lonely and homeless people around this holiday season.
That's right, and any way we can help, we should.
Well, we hope your holiday time is filled with love and laughs and appreciation for all you have.
Yeah, now whether it's Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever your tradition, may the spirit of the season bring you joy and hope for the new year. I'm Larry Hatteberg. Happy holidays to all.
I'm Susan Peters. Thank you for sharing this time with us. We hope you make some great memories this holiday season. See you next time.
The preceding program was brought to you by TZ Productions, supporting KPTS and the communities it serves in South Central Kansas. Great starts here on KPTS.
Support also comes from viewers like you. Thank you. For a free copy of this program, become a new member of KPTS for a $40 contribution. If you are already a member, just send $25 for shipping and handling. Be sure to include the program's name, date, and time.